The 12. Eorzea, a land loved by gods and forged by heroes. The gods of which this epithet speaks are the 12, the pillars upon which religious faith in Eorzea firmly rests. 12 worship. Belief in the 12, a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each represented by one of the 6 elements upon which all creation is founded, has served as a cornerstone for civilization in Eorzea for millennia. Though theologians remain unsure of the exact origins of 12 worship in Eorzea, studies of relics from the Allegan civilization tell us that even 5,000 years ago, at the peak of the Third Astral Era, the 6 and 6 deities were already ingrained in society, as they are today. Not only is the year divided into 12, and 12-year cycles used in modern astrology, city-states will choose a patron deity to serve as a guardian over their lands, with that deity becoming a focal point of cultural development, such as the case with Nald Thal and the economically inclined Uldans. Sometimes, people from certain races or professions will choose to focus their worship on a single deity. Many Makote of the Seekers of the Sun clan will follow the teachings of Azema, the Warden, and Goddess of the Sun. Sailors will often pray to Limlayan, Watcher of Seas and Goddess of Navigation, to see their ships safely to port, and artisans will pray to Birago to guide their hands. The following is a list of the 12 in order of their association with the Eorzean calendar. Hydaelyn the Fury. Hydaelyn, mover of glaciers and goddess of war, is the guardian deity of Ishgard. She commands the element of ice and is associated with the first moon of the Eorzean calendar. Hydaelyn is the daughter of Ralga and a bitter rival of Nofika. She is most often depicted as a relentless warrioress, armed with a bronze great shield. Her symbol is the 3 spears. Menphina, the Lover. Menphina is keeper of the twin moons and the goddess of love. She commands the element of ice and is associated with the second moon of the Eorzean calendar. Menphina is the sister of Azema and the divine lover of Oshon. She is most often depicted as a maid carrying a round skillet. Her symbol is the full moon. Thaliak, the Scholar. Thaliak, ruler of rivers and wisdom and god of knowledge, is the guardian deity of Hydaelyn. He commands the element of water and is associated with the third moon of the Eorzean calendar. Thaliak is the father of Limlayan and the teacher of Birago. He is most often depicted as a reserved scholar holding an ashen staff. His symbol is the scroll. Nimia the Spinner. Nimia is the watcher of celestial bodies and goddess of fate. She commands the element of water and is associated with the 4th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Nimia is the younger sister of Althik and master of Ralga. She is most often depicted as a weaver donning a white silken veil. Her symbol is the spinning wheel. Limlayan, the Navigator. Limlayan, watcher of the seas and goddess of navigation, is the guardian deity of Limsalominsa. She commands the element of wind and is associated with the 5th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Limlayan is the daughter of Thaliak and the elder sister of Nofika. She is most often depicted as a strong fisherwoman wielding a long-bladed harpoon. Her symbol is the wave. Oshon, the Wanderer. Oshon is ruler of the mountains and god of wanderers and vagrants. He commands the element of wind and is associated with the 6th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Oshon is the brother of Nald Thal and the close companion of Hydaelyn. He is most often depicted as a carefree ranger wielding a bow of yew. His symbol is the walking stick. Birago, the Builder. Birago is the purveyor of architecture and industry, and god of the arts. He commands the element of lightning and is associated with the 7th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Birago is the elder brother of Hydaelyn and pupil of Thaliak. He is most often depicted as an ardent smith with a 2-headed hammer. His symbol is the hand. Rhalga, the Destroyer. Rhalga, Breaker of Worlds, is the god of destruction and guardian deity of the now fallen nation of Alamigo. He commands the element of lightning and is associated with the 8th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Rhalga is the father of both Birago and Hydaelyn, and serves as attendant to Nimia. He is most often depicted as a magi, carrying a staff of bronze. His symbol is the streaking meteor. Azema, the Warden. Azema is keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. She commands the element of fire and is associated with the 9th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Azema is the daughter of Alphic and the elder sister of Menfina. She is most often depicted as a noble lady holding a golden fan. Her symbol is the radiant sun. Naldthal, the Traders. Naldthal, overseer of the underworld and god of commerce, is the guardian deity of Ul'dah. He commands the element of fire and is associated with the 10th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Naldthal is the single manifestation of the deific twins Nald and Thal. He is most often depicted as a discerning merchant holding a balance. His symbol is the cowrie, an ancient shell currency. Nofika, the Matron. Nofika, tender of soils and harvests, and goddess of abundance, is the guardian deity of Gridania. She commands the element of earth and is associated with the 11th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Nofika is the daughter of Azema and the younger sister of Lemlaen. She is most often depicted as a jubilant farmer holding a scythe of steel. Her symbol is the spring leaf. Alphic, the Keeper. Alphic is the surveyor of change and space and god of time. He commands the element of earth and is associated with the 12th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Alphic is the father of Azema and Menfina, and elder brother to Nimia. He is most often depicted as an austere emperor wielding a mithril great axe. His symbol is the hourglass. Creation. Creation myth in Eorzea has taken on countless forms over the ages. One prominent astrologian and theologian, Lufon of Sharlayan, has spent his academic career studying the overlap in these renditions and has compiled what he claims is the definitive tale. In the beginning, there was neither light nor darkness, only the Whorl. And it was not until Alphic emerged thence in his nakedness did time take its first step forward. With him, the Keeper also carried weight, and with weight were the realms of land and firmament defined. Yet Alphic would not be alone over long, for soon from the Whorl did another step forth. Her name was Nimia, and she was but a mewling babe, who could do naught but weep. And soon her tears had created a vast lake. Alphic, seeking companionship in the empty realm of his creation, took the young goddess under his wing and cared for her as one would a daughter. As Nimia grew, however, so too did their love for one another, until it could no longer be contained, culminating in a divine coupling which resulted in the birth of 2 holy daughters, Azema the sun, and Menfina the moon. And with their advent was day and night conceived. So did countless cycles of light and darkness pass, before from the Whorl once again did another step forth. Thaliak, bearer of wisdom and knowledge, looked upon the silent and unchanging lake left by Nimia's tears, and coaxed from it a river, to carry that water to the far corners of the realm. Azema, drawn to Thaliak's sagacity, professed her love to the new deity, and begot him 2 daughters, the first being Lemlaen, who took the water created by her grandmother and expanded it into the world's seas. The second daughter was lonely Naufika, who, wanting for companionship, created her own playmates, and thus brought life into the world. It was not until life had spread throughout the land and newly created seas that a new god appeared, though whence the others did not know, for the Worrell lay dormant. His name was Oshon, and where he wandered did towering mountains rise from level plains. With the formation of these spires did cold wind flow from on high down to the warm seas and back up again, carrying life that was once reserved for land and water into the skies. Those winds did bring love into the heart of Limlaean, yet though she longed to be with Oshon, his wanderlust prevented the two from ever being joined over long. And lo, did they never beget children of their own. This was a time of great creation, but also of great chaos. Oshon's mountains rose and fell at his whims, Thaliak's rivers flowed hither and thither, and Limlaean's seas ever expanded, swallowing entire swaths of land before the gods even knew they were gone. To bring order to this chaos, Nimia pried forth a mighty comet from the heavens and gave it life, directing it down to the world that it may destroy the excess her sons and daughters had wrought, while bringing harmony once again to the realms. And for many days and nights was the world calm, the gods content in the order which now reigned supreme. That is, until the Worrell woke from its slumber and beckoned forth two final deities, Birigo and his younger sister, Hydaelyn. It was feared that the untamed and ambitious siblings might once again usher chaos into the world, so to see that they were properly disciplined, Nimia quickly made them wards of Ralga the Destroyer. A builder by nature, Birigo resented his new stepfather, who could teach him only of destruction, choosing instead to spend most of his time in the tutelage of Thaliak. The scholar bestowed upon his eager student the knowledge he would use to forge the tools and techniques of creation. Though more open to her new father's teachings, Hydaelyn too grew restless, longing to test her strength. An opportunity arose when Oshon invited the young goddess on one of his journeys. It was during these travels that Hydaelyn's ambition slowly transformed into a lust for battle. While on the road, she would challenge every creature she met, honing her skills and methodically devising new techniques for killing. When Naufika, mother of the life, learned of Hydaelyn's wanton destruction of her creations, she was angered beyond words and swore revenge. But the Fury ignored the matron's challenges, widening the rift between the two. Oshon, feeling responsible for this rift, devised a plan to calm Naufika. From within the mountains of his creation, Oshon summoned a fount of magma, which spewed forth onto the land. Upon cooling, the magma took the form of the 12th and final god, the dual-aspected Naldthal. With Naldthal, Oshon had provided a god to oversee the souls of those who met their deaths, and provide them with peace in the afterlife. Satisfied that her creations would no longer wander the void aimlessly, Naufika agreed to a truce with Hydaelyn. And with the advent of the 12th and final god was the pantheon complete. But before they could call an end to their toil, they first required a realm in which they could reside and watch over their myriad creation. To this end, they created the 7 heavens. And to there did they finally retreat, bequeathing rule of Eorzea to mankind. Hells and Heavens. Every god and goddess of the 12 is associated with one of the 6 controlling elements. When the deities deemed their work on Eorzea complete, they proceeded to create the firmament, the result being 6 astrally aligned heavens, aspected to each of the 6 elements, and a final 7th heaven to rule them all. However, a residual product of these heavens were 6 similarly aspected hells, ruled by an all-encompassing, umbrally aligned 7th hell. The 6 lower heavens are represented in the sky by 6 constellations, star formations which astrologians also perceive as gates that, when opened, can allow a person to become attuned with the heavens and manipulate their ether. These constellations revolve around the pole star, which is believed to be the gate to the 7th and final heaven. While some sects of the 12 worship have different views of the afterlife, some believe that the righteous are promised a place in the heavens, while sinners are doomed to an eternity of punishing trials in the hells. A belief made popular by a famous theologian and playwright of the 6th astral era states that upon an evil man's death, he will fall to a hell that corresponds to the sins he committed in his lifetime. Once suffering an eternity in payment for these sins, he must journey through the remaining 5 upper hells and witness the sins of his brothers, before finally arriving at the gate of the 7th hell, where his heart will be weighed. If it is heavy with sorrow and repentance for what he has done, he will be sent to the heavens. But if it remains light, he will be admitted to the 7th hell, where he will suffer forevermore. The Hell and Heaven of Fire. In the Heaven of Fire sprawls an endless city built by Naldthal from golden bricks fired in the heat of Azema's sun. Here reside the just and the fair, the honest and the philanthropic. The Hell of Fire was formed when the rubble left after the creation of its heavenly counterpart was cast from the firmament into the dark pit and set alight. Here burn those who wrongly judged their peers, those who tricked their customers, and those who gave and received douceurs. The Hell and Heaven of Water. To create the river which runs through the heaven of water, Nimia melted a star, to which Thaliak added the essence of knowledge, and then poured it forth from his ewer. Here reside the scholars and inventors, the teachers and the entrepreneurs. From the bed of the celestial river did forsaken droplets fall to the pit, where they settled and stagnated, creating the hell of water. Here drown deceivers, counterfeiters, mountebanks, and false prophets. The Hell and Heaven of Wind. In the Heaven of Wind rises a towering mountain range atop which Oshon looks out upon an endless sea ruled by Limlaean. Here rest explorers and adventurers, mountain climbers, saints, and those who rescued the aforementioned souls from peril. Rogue gusts from on high incite terrible tempests in the pit, creating the Hell of Wind. Here, mountain bandits, defilers of land and sea, and pirates suffer as the air tears flesh from bone and soul from flesh. The Hell and Heaven of Ice. In the center of this heaven rises a lofty palace of ice, ice made of frozen moonbeams and carved with the Fury's own spear. Here reside epic heroes and gallant knights, the benevolent and the faithful. From Halone's gelid palace do piercing icicles plummet to the pit, creating the hell of ice. Here suffer cowards, deserters, and adulterers. The Hell and Heaven of Lightning. In the Heaven of Lightning, one will find a towering clockwork spire built by Birigo, with metal forged from a comet and powered by Ralga's levin bolts. Here rest engineers and architects, revolutionaries and conquerors of evil. Levin-charged fragments of the comet plummet to the pit to form the Hell of Lightning. a place of damnation for vandals, slumlords, and warmongers. The Hell and Heaven of Earth. To create the Heaven of Earth, Nofika planted a single sapling, which Althek instantly coaxed to maturity by bending time itself. Under this mighty sentinel's boughs sit farmers and naturalists, historians and archaeologists. Leaves fallen from the tree and left to rot in the pit are what create the Hell of Earth. Here lie buried thieves and defilers of nature, liars and revisionists. Next chapter, Currency and Measurements